This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Team Canada coverage here for the World Juniors in 2021. Might want to throw that date in there to remind myself when this video was filmed. But my friends, Team Canada beats Team Slovakia 3-1 in an absolute, well, nail-biter. All right, 3-1 seems like a pretty good score. Yeah, Team Canada must have had it in the bag all game. Sorry, a little thirsty after the live stream for 2.5 hours, but let me tell you what Team Canada did not have in the bag all game. This was an absolute embarrassment by Team Canada. Not necessarily to discredit the Slovakian effort. The Slovakian effort in this hockey game was immaculate. They played a hockey game that very easily, down to the last minute, could have at least taken Team Canada to overtime. Fantastic effort out of Team Slovakia, and it's not that I'm disappointed in Team Canada. It's not that I'm upset with Team Canada. I'm just frustrated at what they did wrong in this game. And it's very simple what they did wrong in this game. They overcomplicated what was an easy formula to win. Team Canada, they saw a goalie all night. And I mean, you and I who watched it on TV, on TSN, NHL Network, or whatever international networks it's available on, you watched a goalie for Slovakia who played a fantastic game. Don't discredit him too much. But most of the time when the puck scrambled up, he was out of position, flopping around, flailing and sliding and just having a miserable time trying to maintain his edges in net. Team Canada, instead of capitalizing and throwing every puck they possibly could to scramble him up, tried to overcomplicate it, get fancy, make that extra pass. And I mean, as Oilers fans here on Dolynny TV, we know that all too well. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ron Nugent-Hopkins, the crew, they do that way too often. Well, tonight Team Canada did it, and that's what was embarrassing. They were almost playing down to the Slovaks, saying, you know what, we did so well against Germany. Slovakia is another team that we're just going to beat up on. And they did not come ready to play a simple game, which was required at the end of the day to win this game against Slovakia. Why was it a big need to win this one simple? I'll tell you. The Canadian squad scored the first goal of the game off of an absolutely beautiful play. The defenseman activates on a rebound in the slot, open cage, goalie sliding around, bang, it's 1-0. We thought we were going for 9, right? That seemed to be the consensus. 9-10 makes sense. Well, Slovakia, they engaged in a shutdown, grinded out, whether it be the offensive zone, the neutral zone, the defensive zone. They did not give up on a play. They did not give up on a puck. They were going to work every second of the game. And their coach, when they were coming off the ice, he was high-fiving them, slapping them. Let's go, boys. Like, right impressed with the effort. And I mean, same thing as Germany last night, where as the game evolved, we felt just so terrible for Germany. Well, tonight we evolved through this game just feeling so bad for Slovakia that you knew, right? They really had no chance of winning this game. That's the consensus as Canadian fans, is we never lose to Slovakia. Never has happened at the World Juniors, so why would it happen now? And of course we had a 1-0 lead for most of the game, then a 2-1 lead, then we ended up with the empty netter to make it 3-1. But right, the result was perhaps never in doubt, but Slovakia, they put together an effort that should have and did realistically put the result in doubt for us as Canadians and Canadian fans. So, for Slovakia, you can't help but feel terrible, and it's not very often, 2 games into a tournament, we feel more bad for both of our opponents and feel terrible about their loss more than we feel great about the Canadian win. Lost in all of this, in my ramble so far through 4 minutes, is the fact that Team Canada is atop the Group A standings, above Finland on goal differential at worst, with a 2-0 record. I mean, that's something to celebrate. Hey, we've won our first 2 games of the tournament. We're off and running. We face Switzerland soon, and then it's all of a sudden against Finland, and then we have a whole bunch of fun. But somehow, lost in all that is feeling insanely bad for a shorthanded German squad, and somehow sitting here feeling absolutely gutted that the Slovakian squad did not at least get that chance to play it in sudden death, right? As Slovakia played an immaculate game. You have a game plan, go to work and outwork the Canadians. Say that was the Slovakian plan, right? And that seemed to be the plan, is go out there and outwork the Canadians on every loose puck, every 50-50 puck, every opportunity you have, go to work. And they did that. And it was flawlessly, and I mean absolutely flawlessly executed. And they end up down 2 at the final buzzer. That is crushing. And I'm not sitting here feeling bad as a Canadian that we won. I'm feeling bad here as a fan of World Juniors hockey for a squad that's got so much further to go to be a legitimate power in the IHF World Juniors top division. Slovakia takes leaps and bounds steps of what they're capable of in a game against Canada that they lose 3-1. And I feel so bad that it doesn't reflect better. And why it doesn't reflect better is it should have been a 2-1 game, but a theme throughout this game this evening between Canada and Slovakia was a lack of ability, I guess, for a lack of a better term, I guess, for defensemen to keep the puck in at the blue line. And there was a pass back to the blue line on an empty net chance for the Slovakians, down 2-1 with about 40 seconds to go, and the puck miscues over the defensive stick of the Slovakian player at the blue line for Canada, and they go back the other way, and it scores. Jack Quinn puts it to bed, 3-1. And realistically, right, anytime I talk about the Edmonton Oilers losing 6-4 on an empty netter or 3-1 on an empty netter, whatever, I always say it's a 2-1 or it's a 5-4 game that plays to a 2-goal deficit due to an empty netter. The empty netter, unless it's tragically horrible by the attacking team, or by the attacking team to give up the goal, it's an unearned goal essentially because the net's empty and there's nothing stopping you. But this one is a miscue that, I mean, you play a flawless, absolutely flawless game, and I'm not even going to discredit the Slovakians for that miscue at the blue line hopping over the defense stick, but that is what costs you the game with 30 seconds to go. That is heartbreaking. Absolutely 100% heartbreaking. And I feel terrible for the Slovakian squad. I actually feel worse for Slovakia than I feel good about Canada winning. And that is weird to say in a World Juniors where I have grown up my entire life. It is all about Canada, all or nothing Canada. And here I am, mid-20s, saying Slovakia deserved a better fate depending on how, or based on how they played. And let me tell you, based on how they played and based on how Canada overcomplicated this game, Slovakia deserved, at bare minimum, to take this one to overtime. Gutted, I absolutely am, for the nation of Slovakia tonight after the, well, I guess tomorrow or whatever time of day it is in Slovakia. If you're tuning in right now, please know I do feel bad for it. It has been a terrible game to watch from a Canadian perspective, but an incredibly fascinating and eye-opening game to watch from a Slovakian point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. You wonder as a Dolynny TV subscriber or as an Edmonton Oilers fan why I've spent 8.5 minutes talking about Team Canada and not one mention of Dylan Holloway. That is my bad. The guy did not play. He is out with an upper body injury day-to-day, I'd imagine, for Team Canada as it currently stands. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, like I tried to say, Team Canada background will return on New Year's Eve. We go 2 Sweden games on the 28th and 30th next, and then we go to the 31st, Team Canada 4 p.m., Team Sweden 7:30, the back-to-back that's going to kill me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.